So there's something called psychological warfare. And psychological warfare is basically when there's an attack on people's psyche and people's consciousness. And I think 2021 and 2020 are years of that. I haven't made a video in a couple days because I've been hanging out with my wife and my baby, and my dad came into town, and we were just enjoying our Christmas and all that. And so I was thinking, this has been a bizarre year, right? And if you're with me, hit the like button on this side right over there. And one of the reasons that I think it's bizarre is if you haven't seen, I have one of my sales videos on my program, The Second Mind. And on that video, I break down a lot of modern PR, public relations and media. And a lot of PR is still to this day, it was created by Edward Bernays. Edward Bernays is the nephew of Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud, of course, is one of the most famous psychologists and discoverers of the mind and how the subconscious works ever. So his nephew took his discoveries on how to control the subconscious mind, and he took them to major banks. And he took them to major banks and he said, look, basically we can control people. We could essentially, it's like psychological war in that we can suggest things to them even if they don't want it. And we could therefore control them subconsciously. And he took all of his uncle's discoveries about how to control people's minds, and the banks put together a mass consumeristic material PR spin. They started opening up everything from malls to stores to new companies. Edward Bernays is the one that was able to convince people to smoke cigarettes. And so what they were basically doing was controlling people's subconscious to get them to do things that they wouldn't normally do. Or in a lot of ways, negative or unhealthy things. Get them to go into debt and all these types of things. Well, today, this has amplified in a lot of ways. Some of it very intentionally because there's so much more studies on human psychology and the media knows how to manipulate people's minds a lot more. Also, some of this is just random shock value. We live in an internet culture and negative things go very viral. And so even if it's not intentional, there are studies, we know for a fact, that negative content is more likely to be shared than positive content. And so so you see the battle that I'm in making positive content. No, I'm just joking. But what I'm saying here is we now have this world here in 2021 where you've got these major banks and these major PR companies and these major consumer products that they aren't just making products. Just as much or more of their money is spent on how to manipulate human psychology. The news does it. And so when you have that coupled with the internet, where there's a lot of negative things that get shared, the worst things that happen get shared on the internet, and we see them every day. And the result of that is that we're bombarded with a lot of stimuli that is often unproductive. And this is very important when you understand the things that we talk about on this channel about the subconscious mind. This is why I always hypnotize myself. This is why I say it every day. I scream it from the top of the mountains. Hypnotize yourself, brainwash yourself before the world brainwashes you. So if you want to use my free success hypnosis, it's right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's in the description and comments right there down below. It's my free success hypnosis that you can use every day to start to program your subconscious. Because what I'm saying here is, 2020 has been a wild year, and every year it seems like the media finds more and more things to scare and divide people. And whether it's politics or it's some random new event that occurred. And what I'm saying here is it's very important for everything that we teach on this channel, because the way that the mind works, this is very important. The way that the mind works is everything in your life, everything. I'm talking about the food that you eat. I'm talking about if you use your right hand or your left hand. I'm talking about if you drive your car with your right hand or your left hand. I'm talking about what shoe you put on first, your left one or your right one. I'm talking about important things also, like, I'm not sure what shoe goes on is that important, but I'm talking about important things, like the money you make, how much of it you earn, the digits in your bank account. I'm talking about your relationships and how you interact with people, what you do in relationships. When they get more intimate or something doesn't happen the way that you want, do you blow up and the relationships get ruined, right? Everything, how you think politically, every single thing in your life. We like to think that we are these powerful, conscious beings doing everything and we decide and we're amongst our own free will. Kind of, but not really for most people. You can actually turn your mind into a positive program, but we know from neuroscience 75%, this is a fact, 75% of all subconscious programming is negative and redundant. But here's the important thing. You can reprogram it, right? And that's my mission. That's what I talk about on this channel. I woke up when I was 19 years old as a college freshman, and I realized that we live in a state of mass hypnosis. Everybody's brainwashed, right? Like, brainwashing sounds like a very conspiratorial term. It's like I have to wear a tinfoil hat to talk about it or something. Everybody's brainwashed. It's just a fact. You don't even, my baby, she doesn't have any brainwave states that are not akin to hypnosis. So when you put someone into a state of hypnosis, their brainwave states are the same that a child has up until the age they're about 4 or 5 years old. And so what that means is all a child is a sponge. So you think about your early years of your life, everything you heard about money, everything you heard about relationships, right? Like, some people heard that love is pain. Well, that's going to manifest in your life later. And you're going to say, well, why do my relationships not work out? It's not working. Well, it's because of older subconscious programming. And so all of this is happening. And your subconscious is programmed through only 2 ways. Your subconscious can only be programmed through 2 ways. Number 1 is constant repetition or constant spaced repetition. And that's over and over and over having the repetition of something. So that's hearing on the news over and over and over again something bad's happening with the economy. So it programs you negatively financially. Or hearing all these stories about everybody dying every day. So now you forget that that the well-being of the universe vibrates in harmony with every one of your cells, and that you're a powerful creator of your own health. It happens with maybe negative things people tell you every day. Maybe things your parents told you. Maybe you had mean people that raised you and they told you were dumb or stupid or fat or ugly or not worthy, right? Or maybe it's something really negative you heard in a church or an institution and it got programmed into you. So that's constant space repetition. So if you're with me right now, comment down below, I'm with you, Jake. Comment down below, I'm with you, Jake. Comment that down below. I'm making a more casual video today, as if you're sitting on, I'm actually, there's some of my crystal balls right there. I'll play one for you right now if you want to hear them. I'm making a more casual video today. And I kind of want to do them more. But if you're with me, comment down below, I'm with you, Jake. Comment down below, I'm with you, Jake, if you're with me here. And so that first one is constant space repetition. So the thing to think about is, what have you been constantly exposed to in your life? Whether it's recently, because guess what? Your subconscious is still programmed all the time, even when you're an adult. It's not like it stops when you're 5 years old. So think about the things that you've been exposed to. Think about the things in 2021 that we've been exposed to. Economic crash. Everybody's going to die, job loss. So we're exposed to all that, right? But then you might be exposed to just negative people that are around you all the time. So that's constant space repetition. And then the second one is emotional impact. So something very emotional happens. It could be trauma. It could be somebody went nuts on you. Your ex went nuts on you and just lambasted you, and it was very emotional, right? So it's trauma that gets stored in the subconscious. It could be trauma around a bankruptcy. Maybe your dad went bankrupt. Maybe you are in a lot of debt and it's so much emotion that it gets stored. So what happens is your subconscious stores the negative reality. And it works similar to a computer software. You write the code for the computer software and then the computer works that way, right? The computer plays itself out that way. And this is the exact same thing that happens with the subconscious mind. The dominant emotions, positive or negative, good or bad, things you want or don't want, they store in the subconscious, and that becomes the operating system for the subconscious mind. And it controls everybody's life. And so basically people become like robots that play out their subconscious programming their whole life. They watch these videos, they learn some great new 5 steps to change their life, they get all motivated, but then year after year, things don't significantly change that much. Why? It's not because you're not good enough, it's not because you're not smart enough, it's not because you can't do it, it's not because the content doesn't work, it's not because your mind isn't powerful, it's not because God doesn't love you, right? God does love you, the universe does love you, you are good enough, you are smart enough, you can do it. It's about subconscious programming. And we don't realize it because it's esoteric or abstract because it's subconscious. So we don't really realize how important it is because we like to think of ourselves as free will creatures. And it's not really true because 95% of your life is controlled by your subconscious. 95% of everything. That means 95% of every thought you think, every action you take, everything you do, everything you say, the money you make, the way you behave in relationships, it's all subconscious programming. But you can become a creature of free will. And the way that you do this is by consciously reprogramming your mind. Almost nobody does this. What they do is they simply allow their mind to be open. Here's a cup, right? I could put anything I want in this cup. Tasty. I'm drinking yerba mate right now. Tasty. But look at it. You could put anything you want in that. I could put spit in it. I could put dirt in it. I could put water in it, or I could put mate in it. Something positive or negative. Your subconscious is the same way. You can put anything you want in your subconscious. And this is why I always say brainwash yourself before the world brainwashes you. So when I was 19 and I woke up, when I was 20, this type of age, and I woke up and I learned all this stuff, I said, first of all, holy cow, why does nobody know this? And the reason nobody knows this is more sinister, and it goes back to Edward Bernays and modern PR and controlling humanity for ulterior motives. So you aren't taught this intentionally. But the second thing is that it's subconscious. Sub means below. So it's too abstract for people. But here's what you need to realize. You at any moment can go, oh my gosh, if all of this is true, then why don't I start programming myself for the things that I truly want and desire in life? And so I want to give you a few big takeaways to start to do that. So I want you to start to think about every thought you have, every action you take. You can take conscious control through breathing, just some nice deep breaths to make yourself present so you're no longer operating from subconscious habituals. So you go, breathing in, breathing out. Now I'm present. Now what thought do I want to choose instead of what thought am I stuck with? What do I want to choose? Well, I'm worthy of everything I desire. I'm a magnet to money and success and love and happiness. Every day I'm getting happier. Every day I'm feeling healthier. My cells are invigorated and renewed by the life-giving force of the universe. I am perfect health, well-being, right? These thoughts, when you consciously start to make them habits, eventually, remember, constant spaced repetition. So through constant repetition, these become the new operating system of your subconscious. So I invite you in 2021 to make your goal to start to change the operating system in your subconscious. Because you can be a superhero, basically. You could be a multimillionaire, the happiest person you know, the healthiest person you know, an amazing friend, have awesome relationships, fantastic romance. You can have your dream life. You actually can. But the way that it happens is you have to deliberately program it into your subconscious. And that's why I always say brainwash yourself before the world brainwashes you. So comment that down below. Brainwash yourself before the world brainwashes you. Comment that down below. Brainwash yourself before the world brainwashes you. And I invite you to make that your objective in 2021. The best way to do it is to hypnotize yourself. Only takes a couple minutes. My free success hypnosis is right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com. If you only do one thing this year to change your life, just hypnotize yourself every day. Just listen to my hypnosis for 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night. So 10 minutes of your day, reprogram your subconscious. You're going to start seeing amazing things show up in your life without your conscious effort. Why? Because 95% of life is subconscious. It's below conscious. We always think we need to work harder to get results. No, we need to work smarter. We have to reprogram the source of creation, and the source of creation is the subconscious. So it's not about working harder and sleeping less hours and da-da-da-da-da. It's about programming. It's about updating the software. It's about updating the operating system. It's about deleting some old viruses and writing new code. And the way to write new code is to go directly to your subconscious. So you ask yourself, what do I want? Like, what do you actually want in 2021? Pull out a pen and pad and write it down. Say, I want this. I want this out of my finances. I want this out of my health. I want this out of my career. I want this out of my relationships. And understand, everything else is noise. Everything you hear on the news, everything you hear from everybody you know, everything you hear from the internet, everything you hear, it's all noise. None of it matters. It's secondary attention. Do not allow yourself to be programmed by it. All of it's noise. Just go like this and turn the volume knob down and turn the volume up on your own free will to decide what you think and feel. This will go directly into the subconscious. You can program yourself to have the best financial year of your life. You can program yourself to be the happiest and healthiest you've ever been in your life. You can program yourself to have the most enriching relationships you've ever had in your entire life. It starts in the subconscious. So pull out a pen and pad. Write out what it is that you want. Number 2, program yourself with my hypnosis every day. It's right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's right there down below in the subconscious. And number 3, this is very, 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 very important. Understand that you are good enough. You're a divine being. You're made in the image of God. Everything in this universe is just energy, and you are one with the originating source of energy. You're good enough. You're smart enough. Say it. Feel it. Say it over and over until it embeds into the subconscious. Delete the old self-image you used to have. So comment down below, I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. Comment down below, I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. So this is Jake Ducey with jakeducey.com. Just wanted to send you a message for 2021. If you're with me, if you're enjoying these videos, please share them. Just go ahead and copy and paste the URL, share it online. Rewatch this again. If it speaks to you, hit the like button right over there on this side, right over there on this side, right over there. And be sure to check out my free success hypnosis. That's jakeshypnosis.com right there down below. I'm excited for 2021. I'm excited about the great things that are headed your way in your life. Take a deep breath in and out and declare that 2021 will be the best year of your life. I have a feeling.